Hello YouTube addicts, welcome to another video. In this episode I'm gonna be showing you the assembly of this Briggs and Stratton engine that I'm having over here. This is a lawnmower engine. My brother bought, you can see behind me, that lawnmower the last fall, and since he bought this thing it had problems starting, but it was the end of the season, so we did not pay much attention to it, just played with it for a bit and left it unintended for the winter. And now the spring came, so we decided that it's time for us to try to start it again and cut some grass, but the problem remained. This thing, it had difficulties starting, so we tried to just ignore that fact. We jumped it with the car, started it, and during the trimming this thing just started cutting off, backfiring and stuff like that. So I decided that it's time for me to investigate what is going on with this engine. What I found out, it was that some dirt and debris got inside the fuel tank and through there into the carburetor, which prevented the valve which shuts the fuel when you turn off the engine to stop the fuel actually. And when you leave this for a night or just a little bit more than an hour or something like that, the fuel from the fuel tank was starting to missing, and it actually was leaking inside the cylinder, filling the cylinder, and from there it was getting inside the engine itself, mixing with the oil of the engine, and everything was just a complete mess. So I disassembled the carburetor, cleaned it, added fuel filter, and that solved this problem. But the problems with the starting of this tractor persisted. So I tried to find a solution to this thing. My brother searched for that on the web, and he found that these engines, most of the Briggs and Stratton engines actually have problems with the valve adjustment. When they are not adjusted correctly, this thing starts very hard. So I disassembled, removed the valve cover. I found out that the valves are not adjusted properly, adjusted the valves, and actually I spent 2 whole days adjusting these valves because it did not help. It helped a bit, but it did not solve the problem. This thing had problems starting again. It was running, I can say, relatively smooth, but it did not have any power. And I decided that I will have to investigate some more because I had this suspicion that the piston rings are worn. So I disassembled the head and I've confirmed that suspicion of mine. And then I had some difficulties find the proper piston rings for this thing. But now I have prepared everything. As you can see behind me, I have new sets of piston rings. I have some gaskets for the head and the valve cover over here. I have some for the oil pan. It is for over here. It seals the crankshaft, but I forgot to buy a seal for the oil pan itself, so I've bought this thing that is used to make gaskets, so I'm gonna try and make one. I'm sorry I did not film the disassembling of this engine, but I was kind of in a rush and I could not get that on video, but I'm gonna try to show you everything, and hopefully if this thing works properly, I'm gonna show you how actually cuts grass, because I was very impressed with this toy. And What I'm gonna be showing you today actually is the cleaning and actual assembly of the engine. So I'm gonna start by cleaning all the debris. Let me just show you what I have to get out of the way. So I will have to take all of these pieces from the old gasket out of the way, so the new gasket is gonna seal properly. I'm gonna clean a bit the top of the cylinder block, and as you can see I have to clean the oil pan thoroughly and just a little bit of cleaning because I already prepared the head the last time when I disassembled this engine. So let me just start with the preparations, and hopefully by tomorrow, because it is already late today, probably I won't be able to finish all the work, but I'm hoping that tomorrow at least I'm gonna be able to try this thing. So enjoy! I'm trying to be as gentle as possible and just barely touching the surface. I'm using sandpaper 320 and just polishing the debris that the old gasket left, because it is very important for the new gasket to seal this the cylinder head properly to the block itself, the cylinder, because if it's leaking compression, all the effort that I've put so far is gonna be to waste. I think this is enough for now. I will double check my work tomorrow because it is way too dark. I did not get into account the time that is already late, and I'm gonna try and clean just a bit on this side. Let me show you as well. Okay. Well guys, so it's pretty late already and I'm having difficulty seeing on what I'm working on. As you can see, some of the pieces that are from the old gasket are very stubborn and very hard to remove. So I'm gonna stop for today and just continue my work tomorrow. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to go through this tedious process of cleaning the old pieces very fast. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do that, but it doesn't matter, and see you tomorrow.